Yeah.
me and I don't think so. Maybe. Slow. All right. All right. Mine wants to. They need that Starlink. All right. Let's call the ordinance committee meeting to order. Jimmy, Justice Young, can you open in prayer?
Yes. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come before you and to parse the needs of the Garland County. Just pray that you be with this Quorum Court today and this committee. Be with us and guide us and lead us. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Starting out is resolution number R26-06. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming the appointment of Michelle Strauss to the Garland County Law Library Board.
Move to approve.
Second. All right. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure that Michelle is going to be able to be here today. She had some family emergency, so she wanted to be here, but I'm not sure she's going to. She is replacing Brenda Simpson on the Law Library Board.
Cool. I don't know who did that. Floyd, did you second?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Resolution number R26-06 passes. Resolution number R26-07, be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, authorizing the county judge to apply for a marine fuel tax program from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission on behalf of Garland County.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. All right. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, this is, if you'll remember last year, the last 2 years, we've done some partnerships with Arkansas Game and Fish on roads leading to the lake, and they utilize their marine fuel tax to partner with us on it. Well, the last one we did was Brady Mountain Road, and they put in $1 million, and we put in about the same over a 2-year period. This one will be to replace culverts and do paving on Crystal Springs Road, going down the lake, and then also the boat ramp parking lot down there. And it's a huge parking lot, but that's why they're putting in more in this than we are. Notice the match ours is significantly less than theirs because they wanted to do the parking there as well.
Okay.
It's worked out to be a great partnership so far that we all the culverts replaced and Brady completely paved for about half of what we would have had to spend otherwise.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Resolution number R 26-07 receives a pass. All right, moving on, appropriation ordinance number O 26-05, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Garland County Budget Ordinance 25-25 to anticipate revenues and appropriate funds in various budgets and for other purposes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Young and Eds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, appropriation ordinance number 26-05 passes. And that's it. All right, you're adjourned.
Good job. You ready? Let's call the April meeting of the Garland County Court to order. This evening, our opening prayer will be led by Pastor Lance Nelson, the National Foster Care Director, Compact Family Services. Lance, if you would come up and lead us in prayer and then join us in the pledge afterwards, please.
Father, tonight we are grateful. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to come together this evening and spend time conducting business. We're mindful of the fact that we are dependent on your wisdom, and we're mindful of the fact that you are gracious and generous with your wisdom. You told us in your word, Lord, that if we ask of you, you'll give wisdom generously. So tonight, Lord, we're grateful for all of the experience, for all of the business acumen, for all of the lessons learned that have brought us to this moment and equipped us. But we're also, Lord, leaning on you to fill in our gaps and cover our blind spots. Help us, Lord. Help us to understand your heart, understand your will, understand your wisdom, and help us, Lord, to glorify you in all that we do. We thank you for our time together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lance. You're welcome to stay or free to go. I know you've probably got a lot to do. Thank you for being here tonight. Sir, would you please call the roll?
Justice Broughton.
Here.
Anderson. Jones. Young. Bales. Hooten. Myers. Floyd.
Here.
Peters. McGrew. Here. Hunter.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Heads.
Here.
Thank you, Sarah. Chair will entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
made by Justice Anderson, second by Justice Broughton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from March 9th, 2026.
So move.
Motion made by Justice Young, second by Justice Peters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Exhibits A through E, statement of cash positions, statement of operations, ordinance committee meeting minutes, and 2 finance meeting minutes. Chair would like a motion to approve the exhibits.
So moved.
Motion made by Justice Broughton, second by Justice McGrew. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Committee reports. Ordinance Committee, Justice Broughton.
Yes, Judge, we met prior to this meeting and everything passed.
Thank you. Environmental Service Committee, Public Works and Buildings meeting, Ms. Young.
We did not meet.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Justice McGrew.
Judge, we met on April 6th, and all items received a due pass.
Thank you. Human Resource Committee, Justice Anderson. Public Health, Welfare, and Safety Committee, Justice Peters.
Judge, we did not meet.
All right, thank you. And IT Committee, Justice Jones.
Judge, we did not meet.
Thank you. See how easy this has been? Tell me you can do it. I knew you could. I had the utmost faith in you. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the committee reports.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Anderson, second by Justice Broughton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We have a special presentation tonight by Ms. Sarah Richardson from the Literacy Council. She gave us a little handout to you here. Sarah, if you would, please make sure that mic's on. I think it should be, but you're welcome to take it loose and walk around with it or however you want to do your presentation. And thank you for being here. Make sure it's on.
Can you hear me?
I don't think it's on. It is. Okay.
Okay. I'm Sarah Richardson. I'm the Executive Director at the Literacy Council of the Ouachitas. I appreciate your time this evening. I actually do something similar to this every year for the City Board of Directors. I answer questions. We do not receive any county money and the only city money we receive from BG, but I believe as an organization serving your constituents, the more you know about what's happening, the better off we are. So I'm here this evening just to tell you a little bit about the Literacy Council of the Washita's and make an invitation if you'd ever like to come visit our office or come ask me questions. I'm happy to do those things. So we actually started out as Literacy Council of Garland County, serving just Garland County in 1983. Over the years, before my time even, we've expanded services to math, English as a second language, computers, all kinds of services. I was just talking to Carol about a homebuyers workshop under our financial literacy program. All of these are free and confidential to adults in our community. On the back of your flyer, you have some of the statistics about the literacy needs in the community. The chart about where it shows Garland County has a 20% low literacy rate, and I would remind you that they often can read, they just don't read well enough to get to where they want to go. Maybe they can't pass the written driver's test, they can't help their 8th grader with their homework, they can't pass the OSHA safety test at work, those kinds of things. And a lot of the students who come to us have a diploma. So, and then the math and numeracy rates are in the other chart, which are even more concerning. 31% of the adults in our county struggle with basic math skills. They can often, I kind of compare it to a 4th or 5th grade level, not great application level math skills. We're 43rd in the nation in health literacy and 48th in the nation in, we're 43rd in the nation in financial literacy and 48th in health literacy. So those are just a few of the services we offer adults in our community when they come to meet with us. But one of the biggest measures of our success is if students meet a goal. So some students come in and they're with us for a long time to get to where they want to go. And some students come in and they just see us once or twice. It's pretty common for somebody to pass the written driver's test after only a few sessions, or they come in for one class on specifically how to work online forums. That's one that people kind of get through in a couple sessions. But just this year, our year starts in July, on July 1. We've had 129 goals met. Some of those to get a job, to get a better job, pass the citizenship test. We have a number of folks who come to see us for something specific to their workplace. We have somebody coming to get help studying for the acupuncture test, which determines what route you have to take when you enroll at National Park, whether you have to kind of take a longer route or a shorter route. And we have plenty of opportunities for people to do that, either one-on-one tutoring. We have a lot of small groups, and then we do some advocacy work as well, which is what I'm here doing this evening. And so I just wanted you guys to be in the loop about what we're doing at the Literacy Council and the importance to all the adults in our county. And if you have any questions for me, I would be happy to entertain them.
Does anyone have any questions for Sarah?
I do. I noticed on the back it said Arkansas is 43rd in the nation health literacy.
Well, that's financial literacy. I have a little typo there. So that's my dollar sign by the state, and that should say financial literacy. We're actually 48th in health literacy. So people with low health literacy skills don't manage medical appointments well. They go in and they don't know what to ask. They don't know how to understand what's being told to them. A really common one is understanding prescription directions, mistaking medicine, misunderstanding what a medication is for, being able to navigate what happens with a referral. I think it's very difficult to put down your skill set in this area because you just know what to do when you go to the doctor. You know how to read a medicine bottle. You know how to look at the directions or who to call. And there are actually an alarming number of adults who don't know what to do. They don't know how to read nutrition labels. We are doing a series on healthy cooking on a budget that was designed for SNAP recipients because a lot of those folks don't have the basic cooking skills to take full advantage of their SNAP benefits, and so they end up using prepared foods that are more expensive and not as healthy. So that kind of all-encompassing things you need to know to take care of your health.
How does someone, do they need to be referred? Do they just walk in?
They can just come. It's always a good idea to make an appointment because we're a pretty small staff, and so making sure they're not waiting because we're with somebody else or whatever. And now that we serve 5 counties, often one of us is out in another county. It is good if they make an appointment. If they just pop in, we'll help. But referrals do help, and I actually do a whole training on how to identify signs of low literacy in adults and what the best practices are to connect those people to our services. There's research on what really gets adults to follow through and get engaged in a program like this.
Thank you.
Sarah, where are your offices and how do we, are you contacted?
Oh, okay, yeah, I should have brought some of my cards. We're at 119 Hobson Avenue, just across from Washita Youth and Family Services, one door down from the Resource Center. And I'm glad you mentioned that because we're really fortunate to have so many great partners in this community. I couldn't possibly shout them all out here, but we're very fortunate here to have the resources we do for a community this size. And our phone number is 501 624 7323. And if you were back in the day when you would dial by numbers, that's 624 read. When you would dial by letters, it's 624 read.
Was that
I don't know if anybody does that.
7323?
7323. Yeah.
Thank you.
And my email is director@washitaliteracy.org. So, Debbie, did you have a question?
Yeah. How many clients do you think you run, you service any given year?
So we've been growing every year. The count as of the end of March was, I don't know if it's on this one, 232 students this year. And I do want to emphasize that some of those come to a one-off class. A really popular class we're getting a lot of demands for is called Fraud Bingo. And we go to the senior citizen centers and we teach senior citizens how to avoid scams. They're getting scammed by the hundreds every day. And so we go in and kind of gamify it and get them to learn about, don't send a cashier's check to that Nigerian prince. So,
Sarah,
yeah.
signing you up for the Senior Citizen Center. I think it's being built right
I think
now.
we are because we've been working with the area agency on aging and we're going to all their fairs. So we've been to a number of them and at Macaulay Center. So that one's kind of a lot of fun. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you all and call me if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate your presentation.
For acknowledgement of employee service award, that was either one of them here. Both of them road department employees, Black in their 10 years, and honorary has been there 10 years. So we got certificate for all they get them. But they're working hands right now. They start at 6:30 in the morning, so they go home and they get done. We can lay an act for a few days. So it's been fun.
All right, we'll move on to our resolutions. Sarah, would you please read R2606 by title only?
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming the appointment of Michelle Strauss to the Garland County Law Library Board.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters. This is Michelle Strauss is going to be taking the place of Brenda Simpson. Brenda didn't want to re-up for another term, and so Michelle was going to do that. She is having some issues right now. She couldn't be here tonight, so I told her that I would answer any questions if I could. She's a great person, and this is for the Law Library Board, not the Garland County Library.
You know, Judge Mahoney, it's usually my policy that unless the person shows up, then I vote against them. That's
Understood.
my policy. I'm not saying anybody else. In this particular case, she's an attorney, and I've known Michelle Strauss for probably 20 years. And, you know, if they have a good excuse, then, you know, that's okay too. So, I mean, I will be voting for this, and it's based on my personal knowledge of Ms. Strauss, and also, you know, she has a valid excuse too.
Thank you. And we do reach out to each one being appointed and ask them to attend. And I think she's actually the first one that hasn't been able to attend, but I know she's got a lot going on right now. I certainly gave her an excused absence for that. And I appreciate your words, Justice Hooten. Sarah, would you please call the roll?
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson, Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales, Hooten, Floyd,
Yes.
Peters, McGrew, Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds.
Yes.
Thank you. R2607, title only, please, Sarah.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, authorizing the county judge to apply for the marine fuel tax program from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission on behalf of Garland County.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Jones. This is I just told the ordinance committee, but some of you may not have been here. This is a grant that we have been partnering with Arkansas Game and Fish Commission on to use marine fuel tax money to pave roads going to boat ramps and the lake. I believe it was 4 years ago we did Rock Springs Road up in Buckville. We did the entirety of it down to Lena Landing. And then in the last 2 years, we did all of the culverts and low water crossings on Brady Mountain Road and did an overlay from its intersection with Brady Mountain Cutoff all the way down into the campground. And so it's been a great partnership for us. And this one will be for Crystal Springs Road, replacing the culverts on it and doing an overlay on it from its intersection with Highway 270 down to the boat parking area. And then they also are going to do the boat parking area down there as well. So it's a great partnership for us so far. And this is, they normally, the maximum amount they can put in is 500,000. So we try to get all we can out of it and piecemeal the projects into so that we can have a good match. And if you'll notice this time they're putting more in than the county does, and that's for the parking lot down there as well. We haven't received it yet, but we've applied for it, and each year we continue to apply for them because we've got so many roads to access Lake Washita. So we're excited about the partnership. And I don't know if you've been down Brady or not, but tomorrow they're having a groundbreaking up there. I believe it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you get a chance to go up there, they're building a new lodge up there to replace the one they burned down. And so groundbreaking will be tomorrow. I know Justice McGrew is going up there. I'm going to try to be up there, but it's a pleasure to drive through there now. It's really a different drive without the low water crossings. So any questions?
Judge, now the roads going up are county roads, correct? Under county?
Yes. Yes,
So
they're county roads.
We're gaining a contribution from them to
Correct.
offset what we would be spending.
Absolutely. Those are county roads in there. They just access those facilities at the lake. And then they use marine fuel tax. There used to be a sign when you first turned on Brady Mountain Road that had something about using, this road is funded by using 1 cent of marine fuel tax. I don't know if you've ever bought gas on the lake or not, but it's pretty expensive. And so part of it, you're getting used to that part of it. Part of it's paving roads. So it's, but yes, sir, those are county roads. They're partnering with us on them, and it's been really good for us so far.
Good advantage, nice advantage.
Any other questions? Sarah, call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales, Hooten, Floyd,
Yes.
Peters, McGrew, Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds.
Yes.
Thank you. Chair will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read appropriation ordinances by title only.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Broughton, second by Justice Brown. Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales, Hooten, Floyd,
Yes.
Peters,
Yeah.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds.
Yes.
All right. 2605 by title only, please, sir.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Garland County Budget Ordinance 02525 to anticipate revenues and appropriate funds in various budgets and for other purposes.
Move to adopt.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters. Any discussion? Hearing none, Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales, Hooten, Floyd,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew, Hunter.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Pitts.
Yes.
Other business, Mr. Troutman. Are you ready?
Great to see everyone tonight, and I'll keep this fast train rolling, I promise. Since we met last month, Cole and I think I've told you that trying to think who introduced us, Cole and Nancy Davis. Dan Messer introduced us to a lady that's moved here from Dallas, Fort Worth. She's retired, essentially Cole, but there's quite a few Coles, as you would imagine, with the Dallas Chamber. But she's got a lot of good contacts for us, so that's proven to be integral. She's introducing some folks there that we would want to meet. Leadership Arkansas was here for their 3 days at Hot Springs, and we welcomed them. Cole actually presented to them on downtown growth in the past 12 years. Gary and I attended an energy vendor fair. Energy's going to be putting a new plant on Lake Catherine, and they were soliciting vendors for that. I think you're well aware that the Majestic Committee made a presentation to the city board and 2 recommendations there. Gary has been on several BRNE visits, and all 3 of us have been on site visits the past month. We entertained Alicia Pisano. She is the new Arkansas Hospitality Director, and we had to take a tour with her of National Park College's culinary and hospitality department and spend about an hour and a half with Sadiq at his new restaurant. You'll recall he's bought Fisherman's Wharf and now has 5 restaurants in the community. The very next day, we hosted the AEDC. Before COVID, Cole and I would go over to Little Rock and they'd have a room for us, and we'd just tell all the great reasons to have business in Hot Springs and Garland County, and that kind of, like, unfortunately, too many things fell by the wayside. So we decided a few weeks ago just to have them over and spend the day with them, kind of take them around, just, give them, as you would expect, the rah-rah Garland County Hot Springs presentation. We had spring break in Arkansas. Actually, we had about 4 spring breaks in Arkansas, but Arkansas itself actually celebrated from the 20th, 29th, a lot of traffic downtown. I'm sure you're aware of that. Arkansas Derby had a career. I mean, Oakland's only been around, since 1904, 123rd year this year, and a record crowd, 73,000 folks. So if you were there, it was madhouse, but good for them. Congratulations, and hope they get more next year. The weather cooperated this year, and that certainly helped. Something that I want to point out that we're most happy to do, but we don't rarely get to do. We had a local company, for obvious reasons, I won't mention their name, but local company was looking to hire a national sales manager, and they were moving here from clear across the country, didn't know anything about Hot Springs, and we were called and asked, hey, would you just spend an afternoon with this gentleman, take him around, show him the sites, tell him all the good things about economic development, about Garland County, and we did. We're happy to do that. Follow up last at draft day the other day that he's already looking for houses here. He's coming to move here to our community. So we'll do that for any company that wants that service. Dr. Peters was here. We participated with him. So I'm at mock interviews for Lake Hamilton. Gary and I spoke to the 8th graders at Magnet Cove. Meanwhile, Cole was in North Arkansas with six site consultants there. Again, singing the praises, telling them why they needed to be here. Our chairman, our chair, Carol Bells, is here, led our partnership meeting. Something I'm personally proud of. If you've driven the bypass, I know most of you have, you may see a new addition. There's signage up there for the Arkansas Passport Center. We were told no less than 4 or 5 times that would never happen. We read bylaws and statutes why it wouldn't happen, but we persisted. And we wanted to, we just have a lot of folks that come in, as we can attest from the chamber. My phone's back in my chair, but we have a lot of folks that just don't use the GPS, or just want a map, and they come in for a map. And we've heard for 5 years, maybe more, from the Passport Center. It sure would be helpful because we got people essentially from the whole eastern part of the United States and central looking for the Passport Center. So I'm proud to say, as of about 10 days ago, those signs are up if you're coming from the cloud in either direction. Appreciate Judge and those of you that are able to attend the water treatment press conference. What a huge day for the community. Thank you all that attended our partnership banquet last week at National Park College. Real quickly, I'll read the winners. Economic Force, Mountain Valley Water. I think you know why. Kenny McBride was here to present that $67 million investment they've made in the community. Economic Leadership's Matt Bell, the owner, CEO of Origami Sake. They were going beyond even his wildest expectations 3.5 years ago. Downtown Trailblazers, Embassy Suites by Hilton. Remind you, they spent, I believe, $14.1 million on their complete renovation last year. Historic Preservation Champion, Out of the Park, across from Majestic Park. If you haven't been there, you need to see it. It is a one-of-a-kind facility. Really done well. Wally's really done a great job on that. Community Leadership, the Majestic Committee, not Cole and I, the other members of the committee, and Chairman's Award, which Brian Smith was our chair this year, gave that to Rick Williams for all he's done for the community. We had a group in town last week before draft day for vocational school in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Spent a couple good meetings with them. Want to personally thank Dennis Berry, who's here tonight, for helping arrange that. And the big thing, other than awards last week, draft day, it has evolved into the biggest one of its kind in the state. We partner with Lake Hamilton and also Dawson Co-op in Arkadelphia. But Dr. Peters, you've heard me say many times, it wouldn't be what we do the best we can. But if Amanda Porter wasn't involved, she's just a force of nature. But 64 companies, the largest one in the state. Somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 kids. We need to get together and figure out how many schools brought exactly how many. 17 schools. So very proud of that, and pass that on to our friends in Little Rock. Just, no taunting at all that ours is bigger than Little Rock or Northwest Arkansas. That's okay. We had the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame banquet Friday night. We didn't Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, but Louis Sella and Dwayne Lucas were inducted to that. Nice ceremony. As Judge may have told you, or sadly, we both attended Bonnie Swayze's funeral on Saturday afternoon. The long time her family began Alliance Rubber, I believe, 102 years ago now, Judge. Just a wonderful lady, huge loss for our community. And I'll finish with what we got coming up. So April is our busiest month. We've got academic excellence. We will celebrate the top 5% of graduating seniors. It will be at Hot Springs High this year, and so the convention center. That's next Wednesday. I want to invite you all. Please hear me. I want to invite you all, those of you that are able to come first thing on a Friday morning. Our elected officials appreciation breakfast, which we have twice a year, will be next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. As always, we hope Congressman Western will be able to attend. He does his best if he's in town. I'm sure he'll be there. And then finally, Cole and I will be at the SCDC Site Selection Summit with no less than 25 site consultants in Arlington, Texas for 3 days at the end of the month. Judge, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Gary?
Gary, just a little trivia. Watching the Masters this weekend, it was the 90th Masters, and Oaklawn ran their 90th Kentucky Derby. So
90th Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, Arkansas Derby. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah. Two great events.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
I would like to thank Justice Floyd also. He came out to the draft day the other day just to, I guess, to see what was going on, but appreciate you coming out. Certainly Dr. Peters was there as a board member of Lake Hamilton School District. So I hope I didn't miss anyone else.
I move that we accept the Metro Partnerships report.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Broughton, second by Justice Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Gary. We had some really good results from the draft day as well.
Proud to hear it. Thank you all for being
And
here.
while you touched on the bypass briefly, and I was going to let you know that awaiting appeal, the injunction to leave the signs up on the billboard while awaiting appeal was defeated. And if you've been through there, the signs are down and off right now. And they are awaiting appeal to remove them completely. So I don't know how long that appeal process will take, but at least the signage is down. The structures are still there, but the signage is down. So I think that's a win for us.
3 houses down. So yeah, four houses
It's a
down.
little darker around your house now.
Yeah, it's nice, yeah.
Congratulations on that. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gary. Acknowledgement of the overtime report that's in your packet.
So move.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And acknowledgement of disposal of county property. If you look, there are some archaic items in here. Yes, microfiche readers do still exist. And we've got a couple of them here that no longer work and are no longer used. And so we will be taking them to electronics recycling along with the other items that are in there, which is, I know you remember me telling you about that we replaced all of our cameras in the system. We went to one central recording site. And if you want to talk to Judge Ohm, he is already very appreciative of the new camera system that we have in there. It probably prevented a mistrial in his court. So he's very appreciative of it. And that was like the first day we had it in operation that we were able to utilize it, pull video off of it, and provide it for Judge Ohm. So we're pretty happy with that. And it's got some excellent cameras on it. Chair will entertain a motion to acknowledge that.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Hunter, second by Justice Broughton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any old business? Mr. Fleming, did you want to speak now? Come on forward.
I understand from last month concerning our senior citizen that perhaps this month you had some information about some donations being solicited for the senior citizen.
Okay.
And a question I have, what is the price for the construction of the senior citizen center?
It is today, it is 3.5 million, and we had a $48,000 change order for removal of some rock that we did last week, and that is the price for the construction of it. The property is leased.
All right, so the 350 million that
No,
we,
3.5 million.
3.5 million that was transferred from the OMH, that is being used for the senior.
That's
construction.
capital. That's capital.
All right. And did you say that the project manager is from out of state that's handling the
sir.
construction?
No, sir.
Who is doing the work?
Harrison Construction is
Harrison, which is a local.
That's correct.
Is that the reason that several months ago you met with Susan Ashmore and somebody else on the board and came out with the approval that we were going to use the Harrison company?
We
for
did an
construction?
RFP for construction management.
Okay. Was there any bids on this project besides
The construction manager did the bids. And if you'll remember, the bids came in at the $4.2 million range. And we went back and made some changes to the lighting and some other things in there that brought it down to the 3.5 million.
Okay, so we'll complete the building with that amount of money.
I can't tell you that we will.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we will. Hopefully there'll be no more change orders.
One other question. In 35 Sydney, in this department, the Garland County Safe Room Project Hazard Mitigation Grant. This project has been going on since 2019
That's
or
correct.
before. And we started out with $502,000, $500,000.
Mhm.
So I understand that perhaps you have applied for how many grants for this project?
One.
One, which raises this roughly, the grant was for $1 million, right?
No, sir. The grant was a FEMA grant, mitigation grant for the safe room. And there was a match on it. And the numbers that were arrived at were engineered numbers. The engineer for the safe room provided those numbers, what the expected cost would be for it. During that period, when we received the grant from FEMA for the $500 and something thousand, whatever it is, and then we had a match involved too, COVID hit. So during COVID, the costs went up exponentially. We did not bid it out again during COVID. After COVID, we bid it out, and we have bid it 4 times, and we have came back with over $1 million each time we have bid it. So we have went back to FEMA. Each time each time we bring this up here, it's because we have went back to FEMA again to ask for more funding. We have not received confirmation that we received that funding, but we must keep carrying that forward as long as we're going to ask them to provide that for us.
All right. So we have no anticipated date for the construction of the 6th road.
I wish we did, Mr. Bunting. We've
Simply.
tried for, like you say, since 2019. We've been trying to get something done. We've been through about 3 partners at West Central Arkansas Planning and Development that work on that for us. And about a month ago was the last conversation I had, and we had answered all the questions. The engineer architect firm had answered all the questions that FEMA had, but still we've received no funding.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anyone else?
Yes, they had an article in, I think it was the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, about the problem that Pulaski County is having with their quorum court. They couldn't meet their payroll. And so I've had people ask me about that. So I'd like to defer to you to tell them why that cannot happen here.
Sure.
So that's a concern that they have.
Absolutely, and it is a concern. And I've actually reached out to the county judge in Pulaski County to ask about that, to make sure that it was what I felt like inside it probably was, and it was a failure within their system. I don't think that they don't have the money; they just haven't appropriated it. So let's kind of walk through the process with Garland County. As you know, we budget in December. That's when we pass the final budget bill, and we make sure, myself, Susan, the treasurer, we make sure that we're not spending above recurring revenue. Our budget is not above any recurring revenue that we have, and we budget 90% per statute, less than 90% of what our revenue should be, what we anticipate it to be. And we base that off of historical numbers. It's not a number we grab out of the air. We know what our anticipated growth is, and we know what our revenue should be. So once we do that, we set the budget, and then that money is transferred to those funds and appropriated in those funds to be spent out of those funds. And when I say funds, I mean the road department, the tax collector's office, the circuit clerk's office. Those offices, those funds receive the money that we budget for them through appropriations. And it looks like in Pulaski County that money was never transferred, saying they have the money, but it's in the incorrect fund. You know, we have ordinances here. Everything we do is by ordinance. And you'll see an ordinance where we transfer money to one fund or another. Susan brings us an ordinance that says we need to appropriate money in this fund. Then that is what we've done. We have brought that money forward. But both my oversight, Susan Ashmore, and our wonderful treasurer make sure that is not going to happen here. And the treasurer, the buck really stops with the treasurer. And Vivian can tell you, if there's not money in that fund, she's not signing off on that claim. And statutorily, she shouldn't. So I don't know where that went astray over there. I don't have any documents in front of me to say where it went wrong, but it was certainly eye-opening to look at well, they said they had been behind 3 years in a row, I believe. And I'm not talking about $1,000 behind. That's upwards of $40 million, I believe, in the red is what they said. And I think that this year was $9 million that they had said so far this year they were in $9 million. They weren't going to be able to make payroll unless they did some type of appropriation. So I don't know what's going on within over there, but I don't know who forgot to transfer. Obviously they've had a budget passed. You have to have a budget passed, or you have to go back to your last year's budget, but somebody apparently has not transferred or appropriated those funds, the monies into those funds. And Susan, have you got anything to expand on that? You need anything else? Or?
Other than the fact that I went back and looked at their audit, their general fund it's appropriate. They weren't over budget. They weren't under projected, any of that. But you have to remember, we have like 7 general funds. And so audit combines all those together to come up with one number. So if Pulaski County has
has not transferred money from a reserve fund, from what I understand, over on the general fund, then the sub fund of the general fund, then that's why it all combined it, and it appeared that they had the money. They have the money. They just need to transfer it out of their reserve fund into the general fund. From what I understand, I don't know. I mean, it's what I saw on audit.
Yeah, and it's basically a failure to follow through on bookkeeping. I mean, if the quorum court passed the ordinance to appropriate, transfer those funds, then it should have been done. But I know from working with Vivian for the last 8 years that she makes sure that we're aware if there's a fund that's getting low. She makes sure we're aware. She also handles all of her investments, so she keeps on top of that. And it's nearly a weekly process that she goes through and says, "Hey, here's where we're at on these numbers. Do you want to reinvest this money? Do we want to do this?" And she's great. But in the end, the treasurer is the one that signs off to say those funds are in there and they are available to be spent. And if they're not, then she's not going to sign off on it. I can promise she's not, and shouldn't. But yes, sir, Justice Hooten, that kind of caught me off guard as well. And of course, it was big headlines to begin with, but doing a little research, I don't believe it's that they don't have the money. It's just not in the right place.
I appreciate that, because I figured you'd explain it a little better than I could. I assured them that I did not believe that could happen here for various reasons, but I think you explained it a lot better. When somebody asks me that, then I know it's got to be a concern, and they don't want that happening, and I certainly want that happening here. And another reason I told him, I said, I think that this quorum court, that's more, it's common. We watch it pretty close.
Yeah.
And if something gets off, we're going to start asking questions. I know that I do, and I know some other members of the quorum court start asking questions, and they're addressed. But anyway, I appreciate that.
So if there's something that's starting to look like that, we're going to have an emergency board meeting. I can tell you right then. If we start to look like that, if we realize something like that's going on, we're going to need to have an emergency quorum court meeting, because we're going to bring it to you before you have something else to find out about. But Susan has done a fantastic job every year with the budget, and you can look at our budget numbers and you can see how you can follow the budget through, and it's right on point. And like I said, Vivian, she worked under Tim Stockdale when he was the treasurer here, and Vivian's done a great job of keeping up with our funds and making sure that the money's available in those funds when we go to use it, because that's not something that we want to do, is be a headline in the paper for being in arrears $49 million.
Yeah, it gets complicated because you're going to have you got to tie different documents with it. It's not just looking at one particular thing, because like I asked a question today.
Yes.
One, and that has to match up with other documents that we have and other funds. If they don't match, well, you got a problem.
Yes.
We didn't have a problem. It's just I didn't understand it. I kind of did, but I want to make sure.
Yes, sir. And we also have a pretty good elaborate claims process that if, let's just say, the landfill needs to purchase something, then the claim is started by the controller at the landfill, and then it's signed off on by the department head at the landfill. Then it comes to my office and it's processed in my office, and then I sign off on it in my office. So we have a pretty good fail safe to where we're checking each other's numbers, and there are mistakes made from time to time. So we do catch things when they come through, and a lot of times we do the claim and we get down there and there's one document wrong, or we put it under the wrong fund item number or something. Vivian might catch it and send it back to us. So it's a very good fail-safe program that we've got put together right now, where there's several eyes looking at it, and not just one person having to sign off on it. And in the end, the elected official is responsible for it, but we always make sure that a few sets of eyes look at it, because there are little things that you can see that others cannot. Thank you for bringing that up, though, because it is a good point.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. People need to have trust in their government and integrity. So anytime anything like that comes up, I want to address it. I don't want to try to hide from it. I just want to be out there. And if anybody's got questions, then they certainly need to ask. No problem with that, because we want to conserve the integrity of this.
We do. We want to be as transparent as possible. I believe that in the state of Arkansas, we rank in the top 5 for transparency. And the last time that we had a recognition of that, the reason that we didn't hit number 1 in transparency was because there was no permitting on. We don't permit. I mean, we're not a municipality, and so I think it was kind of unfair for us to not get 100% transparency because we don't permit. It's not a zoned. We don't have zoning. We don't have things like that. So, but I'm proud of the way that we have been transparent and got to this point to where we do have some confidence from the court and from most all people in the community that, and if anything that we have is available to look at, and it's all on the website. We've got everything on the website. All of our numbers are on there. Our budgets are on there, and you can look at absolutely any of it anytime.
A good example of that on a small scale is our solid waste fund has 3 sub-funds. You're going to see them in the negative because every quarter we move that money over. We just clean that up. But those funds depend on the landfill, the solid waste fund to fund them because that's where all the revenue goes. And then we just transfer it. But we do run in the negative on those 3 funds. But if you look at them, that's the house to house, that's the stormwater, and the
Park.
Yeah, in the park. And so every quarter, Vivian sends me the information to send over there. But we know that we have $13 million in the landfill fund, so we know we're covered because there's only going to be about maybe 100,000 or more to transfer. So we're good. It's just an example.
All right. Anything else?
One more thing, Judge. This weekend I'm attending the Arkansas Association of Counties meeting, and I'll give you all a small report next month.
Is that this Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got an email today, and I meant to say something to you earlier about it, but I got an email to make sure. Did you get that email? If not, I'll forward it to you.
I believe I did, and I think they had the agenda and stuff on there.
Yeah, they're just wanting to make sure that you're going to be there. I think they're going to head count to make sure you're going to be there, and I'll forward it.
I'm pretty sure I RSVP'd about a month ago.
I'm sure you did. You've been very efficient about everything. Sure. Tell your constituents that we are starting to get back on track with our paving program. Our repair from the storm is nearly over, so we're starting to get back to where we can start paving in earnest. I believe we had a pretty big week last week with paving, so I'm hoping that we can get some good weather. I had a lady call me today, and very nice lady, and we talked about a road in Justice Floyd's district, and we started about 2 months ago to try to replace culverts on it because that's part of our process. We clip shoulders, we replace culverts, and we get everything ready, clean ditches before we pave it, so you don't have to cut it back out. And I was talking to her about it, and she was very nice, understood, and she said, "Can you tell me about when you're going to be out here?" I said, "If you can tell me what the weather is going to be for the next 2 months, I'll tell you the exact day and time." She said, "I'll give up on that." So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with it. It's frustrating, but we did get to pave today, and hoping for a good week to get to pave most of this week. But nothing else. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. All right. Thank you all for being here tonight. You be careful going home.